Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm excited to announce these two new plugins by Safari Pedals. It's their first amp sim plugins. I'm pretty excited about them. I've been using them for maybe a week and a half now. They're based off of classic amps. They've been wanting to make amps for a really long time. So let's jump into Pro Tools and see what we got. The first one that I'm going to show you is this silver llama. And then the other one that they're releasing is this twin panda. And you can see that they both look like something you would see in a studio. They're based off of some amps for sure, at least inspired, let's say that. With the silver panda, I would say it's a little bit more authentic to, like, I don't know, like a 60s amp, I guess. You can see that it's got some slap and it's got some spring reverb built in, which is cool. And then you have a tone knob and you have a gain knob, and you can see kind of some familiar parameters that you usually see on Safari pedal plugins. You got an input, you got a blend, you got your preset window right here. Obviously, you can save and delete, oversampling, auto gain, and output. And you can see that they give you some meters, and then you can adjust the screen size down here. Similar thing with the Panda, except obviously, it looks like a pretty familiar amp that you would see in the studio. Same thing going on, you can see up here. And then you can also see that you can choose between two different types of microphones on both amps, which is pretty sick. And they definitely have a huge effect on the tone, which is cool. But I have this little guitar loop that we can try to use these amps on. So let's start with this one. So you can hear, I mean, it already has a little bit of slap going, a little bit of reverb going, and the reverb sounds really good in my opinion. I mean, so does the slap, but the reverb, you can definitely put it in a nice little room, I guess, if that makes sense. Let me play it again, but let's just switch. Let's start with the microphone. Let's pick the microphone we want to use. So right now it's on the condenser, and then down here you'll see I'll switch to dynamic. So yeah, obviously there's some huge tone differences, which is definitely what we're trying to go for. You want choices, and they're definitely giving you choices. The dynamic's a little bit more focused on the mid range, if that makes sense, and then the condenser, it's got some mid range too, but more focused on the high end. But let's stick with the dynamic for now. So yeah, I mean, the spring reverb, I mean, the slap sounds really good too. But the spring reverb I like. I do like spring reverbs a lot. This one sounds pretty good. I don't know how they're modeling or what they did with that, but it sounds pretty damn good. It sounds pretty realistic to me. Let's go ahead and mess with the gain and the tone knob a little bit. You can see that I was messing with the blend knob a little bit, so I think that would be pretty useful if you wanted to kind of do like a very distorted signal and then kind of blend in that original signal back in. But let's try out the condenser real quick. I mean, you can do something cool with this because if you have such like a bright mic like this, it's not super bright, but it's definitely brighter than dynamic. You can turn down the tone knob to the left a little bit, just to make it sound a little bit more vintage sound, a little bit more warmer. I guess it's kind of rolling off that top end, which is nice. So you can definitely take advantage of that. Record, or in this case, use the brighter microphone, and then kind of adjust that top end with the tone. But yeah, let's check out this. Let's check out the Twin Panda. So let's default this. So same thing with this. Let's just pick our microphone first. Yeah, I mean, I would say like I mean, obviously there's a very similar thing going on with the condenser and the dynamic. The same thing with the silver. I would say the condenser is not as bright on this amp, and technically it is a tube amplifier that they're modeling or inspired by that. It's rolling off that top end on the condenser, which sounds pretty cool. So yeah, I mean the EQ is definitely the EQ and the reverb definitely sound super familiar to me. Just like on a real twin amp. Definitely a familiar sound. The tremolo sounds really good. I mean, it is kind of hard with the wah pedal that's already printed onto the guitar signal, but I was able to do a faster speed just to make the effect more than it being so subtle when it's a slower speed. And obviously me turning up the intensity. Let's check out the dynamic. I mean, you can definitely get it to break up a little bit. Obviously, you can definitely get it to distort. If we do this, and maybe let's turn this down for a second, and we'll set this back to 0. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely get it. It sounds like it's screaming. You know what I'm saying? So, you can definitely get this to distort if you really wanted to, but you can kind of get a subtle break with it, which is kind of nice. Pretty cool. Two little amplifiers we have here. I feel like it's definitely a good start for them releasing their first amplifier plugins. I feel like this is a pretty good start. Let me make these a little bit bigger. That's quick. They sound good. They're familiar. I think that's another thing. The Silver Llama and the Twin Panda. Go check them out. You can use my affiliate links below. Wouldn't mind if you did that. I'll have 2 separate links for the individual plugins, and I'll also have link for their overall store. And then also, if you want to buy any new gear, you can use my Zounds link. I'm affiliated with them now, so yeah, any gear you want to buy that will support me, support the channel. Otherwise, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.